your cup. Living life with F&D, we won't give up. Spill your coffee, hey, that's okay. We'll laugh it off and seize the day. Sip happens, but we're alright. With Sarah's mug, we'll win the fight. Science stories, laughs and fun. Morning chats for everyone. So take a sip, don't spill the brew. Join the chat, it's made for you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. How are you? Oh, let's see who comes in here. Well, you guys are moseying on in, lurking. What a day. And it's not even started for me. What a day. And I'm sure that you guys are like, what are you doing? I'm always doing piddling. Something. Oh, trying to open something up. Oh. The week is almost over for you guys. That's the exciting news. Melissa's out in the ocean somewhere, I hope. Anywho. What are we gonna do today? What are we gonna do today? I should have put TikTok on. Hang on. Well, TikTok, maybe not, because I got only less than a quarter of a battery on the cell phone. What are we gonna do today? We don't know. Sorry if I am boring. The most boring YouTuber out there. I've been slacking on you guys. I'm sorry. Sleep, family, my health comes first. Speaking of health, thank you to Squid, who opens my can of worms on stuff. We're gonna fight for you, Maya. That's for sure. This is bullfuckery. Can I say that? Yeah, I can say that. Now the Maya case was kind of the analytics was opening about the same time that I was dealing with this bullfuckery with F&D. And it really hits home because I go into I had a concussion. I know that. I had a concussion. My mood was going up and down for nearly 2 months. Nobody ever hey, you might have a concussion, watch out for this. Your mood might go up and down. Yeah, I am kind of in the healthcare professional but it is still your job to, present these things when I seek, health care. Because I might not be thinking about a concussion after a fall, Lesson learned, always call the ambulance if you fall and get hurt. And yeah. So the sidewalk, let me see if I can, maybe I'll show that to you later, because I might have to edit, the picture just a little bit so I don't dox myself. But, the sidewalk was beveled, probably good to maybe 1.5, 2 inches, maybe 1 inch, who knows. I'm not gonna go, and maybe I should go and take a, maybe that's what I should do today, is go take a trip and, put a yardstick or a ruler or something and show you where I fell exactly. Now I did seek out, hey, I fell, to an attorney. He's like, well, you had flip-flops on, not worth his time. Okay, so 2 months later, I'm still up and down. At this point, I thought it was the Vraylar, which it could have been, because I've had medication issues in the past. I'm hypersensitive. And I forgot that I was tested genetic-wise for psych meds, but I knew I was, hypersensitive to medication. So I'm like, well, I don't have the money to go to this practitioner that prescribed this for me to try. And that practitioner issued this without even, looking at my health records, in my opinion. Just assumptions. So I'm like, okay, I don't have a psychiatrist on board. It's been a pain in the you-know-what ass to get psychiatry and mental health services. And then I'm downstairs from my office that day, and I'm just like, something's gotta give, I can't regulate. Something's wrong. This is mental health. So I can't regulate to the point where I can't call 911. I had no concept of calling 911. I had no concept of calling my emergency contacts, which I wish I did. I wish I had the concept of calling or texting my therapist. Um, it was after hours, but at the same time, there was a practitioner that had treated me probably about a year ago. And yeah, she had the kids with her, and it was kind of a, yeah, I understand it, but I was in a crisis. It would have been better if she had called 911, or even, hey, are you okay? Do you need me to call somebody? Or, hey, I noticed you were maybe not well or in a crisis, but I had my kids with me. I didn't want to make a scene because, they were young, but at the same time, they were at that age where, Mommy, who was that? You know, um, what happened? I understand that, but they could have, at least I would, if I saw my past patients, I would have, like, okay, I just saw a former patient of mine. I'm gonna go through, okay, I think this is who it was. I'm gonna call, 911, or, um, go through my phone or whatever, to help this person. Um, that okay, but I forgive you, the person that failed me. Um, I will still refer, people to this person, regardless of what happened to me. I will say that over and over. It was just one of those moments where, you just really couldn't do anything, but you could have, you know, privately, whatever. I don't know. And then the fact that I kind of remember that, I don't know why I remember that, but a lot of that was like a blur, like that moment. Um, but you could have saved me from getting in my car and driving, in this state. Like, and I should have gone to the real hospital instead of this hospital, which they were locked up. They're supposed to be, open 24/7, and their doors were locked. There was nobody in the, reception area. I I have a feeling that I was like there for like 20 minutes trying to decide what to do. And they have this emergency red box phone that goes to either reception or whatever phone, and that was dead. That phone was dead. So I'm standing there waiting for somebody to, like, happen to glance going past the reception area. Why? I I don't know why I could not call 911 at that moment either. I don't know. But I get in, and of course, it's like you have to sit in this very sterile looking room with nothing to do. No, there's literally nothing in the room for obvious reasons of safety and stuff. Um, I just could not stop sobbing. Um, Now, here's the problem: they have techs or people that are possibly just going in for an internship and then they note take because, that's the problem. Okay, I rather a doctor or a nurse to come in and be like, okay, let's get your medical history and then come back. Okay, I looked at your medical history. It looks like you have severe allergies to medications. Let's get your blood pressure and all the things. I think I was doing a good job at like trying to keep my blood pressure down. So at that moment, my blood pressure was probably, I know it was sky high, ups and downs. And even if they said, hey, we're gonna get, a real hospital to come and get you, we cannot take you because this is an acute psychiatric hospital, because you have a history of genetic testing that indicates that you are hypersensitive to meds. That would have been great. But no. They admitted me, and a little bit later, I think I got food. I think I got dinner. But these places, they make you literally strip down, make sure that you are not hiding drugs, which is very scary, even though I've done this a couple times, and know what to expect at these places, but it's still triggering. But there is a little level of modesty, and I'm like, oh, being a girl, the very, very, very first time that I admitted myself was they did it in the quiet room, which is literally nothing but white walls, and they shut you in this room, and yeah, they don't, there's no bed, there's nothing. And there are cameras. So they, made me undress. That was the first time that I had ever done this, you know. So that was very intimidating. And I think one of the, people, it was a little intimidating, let's just say that. And then what gets me most is after that visit, you start seeing these people around town, so don't let these psychiatric make you believe that this is all chemical imbalance. Your lifestyle, life is hard. Life is fucking hard. Excuse my French. Life is, there's a lot of hurdles, a lot of shit you gotta go through. Yeah, like I now understand now, like, let's say a family member passes and you just can't really deal with it because, you are very, very close to the person, and you kind of need to, kind of self-medicate yourself, to help you cope temporarily. Now, mental health is not a lifetime thing. I think if you can't, cope, and it's like leading into, chronic behaviors, or, let's cope different ways than, medicating. Because after these visits to the psych ward and seeing doctors over medicate polypharmacy people that should not be polypharmacied, because you have PTSD does not realistically need to be medicated. Now, yeah, you might seem, have night terrors. Yeah, you might need some medication for a little bit, you start with, tea. I honestly think tea, sleepy tea with honey. I've been kind of trying that as a medicinal, help me naturally, just help me sleep. And I do think it is helping. And it's all natural. I don't find it very, like, it's not addictive. Like, I've noticed a difference. Um, yeah, maybe I'm, turning off lights and, trying not to, um, watch, TV or whatever. But, um, so, anyways, and it might be, one of those things where, placebo effect, but if I can make my brain, trigger, okay, this placebo effect, I'm all for it. It's all natural. It's not gonna hurt me. Um, awesome. I'd rather stay away from these dangerous drugs, addictive drugs that cause so many side effects to the point where you get protracted withdrawal symptoms. And it's and I'm not gonna stop talking about this either, because if you suppress your history, I know it's history, but it will. I kind of get scared that it's gonna, affect me in the future. Um, so I gotta kind of rehash my brain that you're safe, you're all these things that cause more medical PTSD and all that. So and last night I was listening to this poor girl, which she got maybe that's another story for a later day, but my goodness, that story makes you just like, God. Anyways, that'll be a later story, I think. So anyhow, welcome. Sorry I'm ignoring. Merry Christmas and Happy Halloween. Oh my goodness, yeah. It's almost Christmas time. I don't want any more snow. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to go south. And no, flash fan, just because I'm in Indiana doesn't mean I'm in the South yet. Anyways. I will. Someday. Anyways, so back to what I was saying. That nurse that night that I was admitted, should have intervened. And the sad part was, I reported her the next day. And she rebelled or whatever. Not rebelled. What? It starts with an R. Yeah, doctors make me crazy too. My blood pressure was sky high. She denied, intervention, like my blood pressure was stroke high. And she just was like, we're not going to do anything for you. We're not going to even send you to the hospital. We're going to kick you out if you don't stop. You've been here before, and, and insurance is not going to pay if we kick you out and, write off that you go against metal. I'm like, I just want fucking help. I just want, I'm either, having a medication interaction because my body hates this shit, or I'm, I've been trying to seek, mental health probably, since 2018. And I should have, had somebody after my mom died, and then another family member. And I've seen some stuff, so we're not gonna really get into that. So I was drawn to the fact that, of this lie that you have chemical imbalance and, and all that. So, anyways, and then, mental health, kind of runs in the genes too, from what I've understood for many years. Seek mental health, but again, since we're talking about mental health, I am, disclaimer, seek mental health if you, I'm not trying to discourage people from seeking mental health. If you need help, professional help, please call 911, 988. Just use precautions. Seek your family, your friends, family, that can help you, out of the crisis. More and less you're, if you're experiencing a mental crisis and you're not, taking anything, it's more and less you just anxiety, your blood pressure's sky high, and, and more and less it's a sign that you just need to eat. You're hangry and frustrated, okay? You just need to eat. Just eat. A lot of it's metabolic. A lot of it's metabolic. And take it from a girl that had, and I'm sorry to family members that deal with my hangry ass. You know, I've dealt with eating disorder. Probably I developed this in high school, but probably a little bit, yeah, now the secret is out. The secret is out that I have an eating disorder. I don't need a diagnosis for that. I think so, and I'm not proud of it. Body dysmorphia. I deal with that too. I'm fluffy. I'm fluffy. But it probably started in high school. Anyways, so a lot of it's metabolic, and me hungry all the time. And sleep all the time, and anyways, let's kind of derail off that subject a little bit. So I think the Vraylar was causing me to not eat. I fell. I was like starting to feel good because, I started losing probably about 20 pounds in, quite a short amount of time. So we're not going to discuss how much I weigh, but I lost, quite a bit of weight. And I was working hard. I literally had to step away from previous job because I felt like that environment was toxic, and I was done with toxicity and just needed to do my own thing, for a little while. Even if I knew I could go back, maybe. I just needed to do my own thing, my own woke thing, get back to doing what I love, which is being fun and employed for a little while. Do my own little art therapy on the side. I was starting to, do Uber and Lyft again since I had a new vehicle, and I absolutely loved doing jiu-jitsu. Could that have caused more issues with PTSD? Could I have been having heat stroke issues because the air conditioning wasn't working that day? Yeah, that was awesome. And it was a great opportunity because I was gonna do either massage there or I had big plans. So I just I needed to do it for myself without distractions. I love my family and friends. But I really needed to do this, and I felt like I was winning. No, I was not. I was not. Just because I make these, lifestyle changes before anybody, gives their opinion on, my health and well being, I was not bipolar. Okay? These medications. Now, I have not been on Cymbalta for quite a while now. I made the decision to taper off slowly but surely, and I've been off of Cymbalta. And the first thing I notice is no mania. No, I feel like I am my normal self. Yeah, there's a little bit of, issues with, where I'm like, okay, is that protracted withdrawal? I made that decision, and it's my right to make that decision, and these medications, they're not meant for long term. They are not meant for long term. Nor are they, drug trialed for more than a year. Plus, I'm seeing a lot of similarities with people being diagnosed with depression, anxiety. A lot of anxiety could be you're just ADHD. You don't really need Adderall. That's my take on it. Use that as your superpower. Like it's so hard because when it does affect your life and you start crashing and, because of your ADHD, then yeah, maybe you need, these meds. But I just, after it caused me to have seizures back in high school and dealing with that whole crisis, I'm like, I honestly don't believe in anything, mental health, you know. Um, and but then it's hard too because I tried every fucking coping skills to God's creation, when I was. So I feel like this was a concussion. Medication was not helping. I think the medication was causing psychosis. Who knows? Anyways, good Lord, I've been talking forever. So I just don't know. And we were going to talk about the Maya case, weren't we? And then, the word retaliation. Retaliation was the correct word. See, I knew I was going to come up with that word. That was the other thing with these medications and my sleep and this mental hospital, I feel like this hospital is feeding into addiction. So we've got the 2 units, mental health and addiction. And I get the pleasure of every time I admit I get to see the addiction unit first for some odd reason, and then they transfer me over to the mental health unit. So I feel like you, after dealing with protracted withdrawal symptoms and stuff, it just gives me a very little pinpoint of what you deal with addiction. Then I get the little pinpoint of what it's like with addiction, with having food issues, eating disorder. Okay? It's hell sometimes. I will, I will never, experience that, but sorry, the light is in my eyes. So you get off the drugs, but then I feel like they're lying to people who are addicted, saying that this is a chemical imbalance and, you need to be on these drugs for bipolar because, the funny thing is that the one doctor before all this stupid happened, he did not want to hear about my family history. Let alone, I don't think you even looked at my history. But, because, trying to dox myself here. I got copy and paste, basically. We'll open that for Christmas. Early Christmas, Thanksgiving. Because November 9th is when I finally got to go home. So from August 23rd to November 9th, I was in and out of the hospital. So 1 week, they were trying to figure out what was going on with me. Then 2 weeks rehab. Went to the homeless shelter because couldn't pay rent. I couldn't even get anybody to move my car. Everybody was like, your car is fine. But then it turned out that I was parked in the wrong spot. So I was parked in the, although they really didn't have like paid parking, but my car could have gotten, repoed or towed, and I'd just gotten that car like a couple years ago. Just got that car. And that, I call that car Big Old Betty. I called this one Big Bertha because it was just, I'm little itty bitty girl, little fluffy girl, 5 foot, and I'm driving this big old box, from 2006, I think it was. So I love that car. And it was precious and sentimental because, somebody in the family gave it to me, and adopted family members. And it came at the right time. I needed a new vehicle because my 20-year-old car, that one's ugly buddy, needed to go to the junkyard because the brake line broke, and I was driving on that for a couple months, and it was just too dangerous. And that could have been, I factored that in. I hit a deer, whiplash, concussion from fall, medication from Vraylar, which I feel like Vraylar did have kind of the same effects that Effexor. And I took that a long time ago, and that was based on, family members were taking that because of depression. So, at that point, I just needed a little something, but it was so random. I'd be, nothing around for me to trip on, nothing for me to fall on, and I'd be just standing there and plop, swoosh. And so I factored that in. Like, is this the same effects? So it's hard. Then 3 days after I had been admitted, dealt with the narcissistic nurse, my blood pressure was just not right. You know, I could feel it internally. Something ain't right, you know. They immediately took me off of Vraylar, which they should never do that, you know, because you can have protracted withdrawal symptoms even at microdoses. I just would love to just bop that stupid doctor that laughed at me because I laughed at me because I asked him, can I do microdoses of this new medication? Oh, we don't do that. You're an adult, you know. We can't do that. Yes, you can. Yes, you fucking can. I just wanted to bop him, like, you know, your mother, you know, when you're, like, being stupid, just saying, you know, because you were, you know, using your phone, you know, talking about, or a microphone thing, recorder thing, talking about other patients, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, are we gonna start now? Just did not pay attention. Did not pay attention at all. Laughed about some other trauma history. Like, that's where I've learned a lot, that they're not interested in your dynamics. That's why I'm asking you guys to sign petition to make these doctors, like, sit down, listen to your dynamics, because having a stroke, losing half of your body, you know, and then making fun of you and belittling you when you go back for more care, forcing you to walk in order to discharge. And then you come back after having a, you know, post-exertional malaise seizure. Oh, sorry, we made a mistake discharging you. Oh, and I forgot one tidbit. I was having a seizure after I think it was like a 30, it could have been a 30-minute walk from the entrance. Let me show you a picture. This is what, let's see here. Oh, and this is, when I went to the other hospital, you would think we're going to give you a hand splint to prevent you from having contractures. Nope. They never gave me that. They never gave me an arm splint, arm slings, because this muscle, it doesn't take very much in your bicep for that to pull. So that's called a subluxation. And because it pulls because of the dead weight of your arm. So if I had a sling, and I wouldn't use it all the time, just, when I'm laying there, it would have been great to have that to support this, to prevent this. Why can't doctors do preventative medicine? And then, I get this thing as a souvenir. Oh, and then we're gonna heat gun it and conform it to your, and congratulations. That's how I felt. Here, congratulations, you have F&D. Good luck. Was so stupid. This is AI did this for me. I didn't have anything on my wrist, but that's how I felt. And let alone AI, you're awesome, because Grok, I think I did it on Grok. Either Chat, GPT, but they really did it, because, and I wish the brown van was in the background instead of the ambulance. How creepy is that? You get in a creepy brown van, black van, same thing. So the chick with the short hair and the high heels, she literally was wearing stilettos. And I think, and now it's still a blur, but I think she was either taking them off to help, or she was going to give it to somebody in the homeless shelter. She was going to give her shoes away, and stilettos, literally stilettos, high heel. They took away my walker. I do recall she took away my walker. So they had their hands, arms, whatever, underneath my armpits. And I'm scooting lefty, loosey lefty, my left leg. I lost all concept of walking in 2 weeks. Now again, they could have prevented this. They could have prevented this. They could have said, oh, you have F&D conversion, you've already been here, let's send you back to the hospital. We can't accept you, or send me elsewhere. But I wanted to stay local because you messed me up. Separating me from my family. 3 hours away. You sent me 3 hours away. Away from family. The hospital refused to take me off of the medication that was causing a fucking stroke. Use goddamn common sense. And that's where I am like, what do we need to do to help Maya? Because this irritates me about the Maya case. Let me show you. Let me Okay, I'm still rolling. They are appealing this judgment. Her mom fucking died during this. And no, I do not believe that a normal mother who was like frustrated because her daughter gets taken away and then she gets accused of abusing Maya, which I find a normal mother who has a medical degree. I think she was a nurse. She knows her daughter, she gave birth to her daughter, something ain't right with Maya. Yeah, it's going to produce mental health, separating your child and accusing of, J-Hatch, you caused this. And then you're going to take this away after, I think it was 5 years. They've been dealing with this for 5 years, give or take. I know it was like 2 years, because this was like all coming out when I was in the hospital. Oh, and then, a lot of this hits me quite a bit. State shelter, sorry, I'm not as good as Squid. Squid should be covering this as well, her opinions and all that. So she's been doing this longer, reading, court cases. And Squid, you do a phenomenal job. I'm proud of you, and it's not easy. Trust me. But I'll get there. Eventually. Reading, reading is just not my thing. And then having F&D, and I've actually discovered something. So, this case is just, I hope nothing else happens after J Hatch does this. I really honestly hope nothing else happens. Stay strong, Maya, if you ever watch this. Your dad and your brother and you are pretty strong. I hope this gets, denied. Yeah, they're 2018, so it's been a while. And having pain, like, that's the other thing is, the hospital did not care if you were breathing. Like, they were giving me the maximum dose of muscle relaxers. I was surprised that they didn't recommend that, other, bullshit. And then I was surprised that they gave me melatonin. Then they gave me another sleep aid for PTSD, but it was to help me sleep. So I'm kind of glad that I'm breathing, to be honest. And I think when I had asthmatic bronchitis last year, I think my body was just like, I can't breathe. We're rejecting this. You need to stop taking this stuff, because having a genetic mutation called the mother effer is what I call it, and that's what it looks like. MTHFR mutation, and that stems from your mitochondrial, metabolic, surprising, so over time, and I've said this many moons, that when I take something, I have to, like, let's say I take medication at 9 o'clock. But then the next dose needs to be spread out to 10 o'clock. And then 12 o'clock. And then, because if I continue taking a medication at 8 o'clock, same time, same day, whatever, my system is too slow, and I start becoming toxic. And I can essentially overdose. And that's what was happening with all these drugs. So my body can't eliminate it out, and then, or the opposite happens if I'm like not sensitive to it, genetic wise, then I can have a rapid response. So when they gave me, I want to say, they gave me another like muscle relaxer, and within 45 minutes it was kind of like, okay, you just gave me, something, and it was out of my system. Had kind of an adverse reaction to it, or whatever the reason was. But then they switched me to another muscle relaxer, and I was literally taking the maximum dose. And like my PT, loved that PT, because she opened, like, how are you even breathing? This is insane. At what you are taking, and due to liability and all that, she can, but it opened doors. Opened my curiosity. Anywho, so, also, I just noticed that what you see above there, these little pennant things, those are actually Invisaware. So if you go in my links, and if you are a fall risk with FND, or PD, which is Parkinson's disease, or MS, and you just want something to have for your safety that's cute, and now you might have to put a different chain on it, but they're cute. A lot better than wearing Life Alert, those ugly Life Alerts. So check those out. So anyways, this is stupid. Her mom fucking dies because of this. And no, I do not think she had any sort of mental health illness. I think she was wanting the best for her daughter. Her daughter was in so much pain. And I know that pain. This is horrible. Anyways. So do you guys want me to cover this I don't want to, like, spin off on Squid or take away credit from Squid. And I'm the type to just, like, let Squid do it. But I gotta have to do my own thing too. And this really just shows you how shitty, you know, justice and all, how corrupt our healthcare system is. I shouldn't have ever had to lose my apartment. I shouldn't have ever had to lose my car. But this, if my mom was still alive today and she did this, you better bet that I go all hurricane category, tsunami, you know, to fight this. This is the reason why I'm like, I want kids, but if this injustice shit happens, it makes me scared to have children, you know, or have, you know, let alone adopt children at this rate. Co-parent. Like, this is just shitty. Just shitty. Hey, Frank, Leroy, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the derailment. Getting us back on, you know. Thanks, Flash Fan, for coming to visit and showing your support as always. I hope you have a wonderful day. Yeah, doctors make me crazy. Yes, Indiana gets now Flash Fan. Anyways. Maybe tomorrow I need to put my videos, of me learning to walk again, although the problem was there were too many patients at the hospital, and some places do not like you videoing. So I was really surprised that they would let me the little. Plus, I had no coordination with this hand. I had no cognitive issue. I had cognitive issues with that. The other thing that bugged me was I wasn't allowed to go out in the hall and walk around. Like, get your patient up. Even if they were in a wheelchair, let them breathe. Get them out of their room for a little bit. Like, I had to wait a week, 2 weeks, to go outside with my PT because it had to be authorized. And only PT could take me outside. And man, that going downstairs, let alone, I did not even know that there was like a restaurant, like, was it Starbucks or I think there was Starbucks and Subway downstairs, and then the gift shop. Let alone, I asked my social worker, hey, can you get me some acrylic paints? Because acrylic paints were gonna dry a lot faster. I know how to manipulate these acrylic paints. Hell, markers, something to entertain me, because I had nothing. It's not like I was gonna go pre-pack and give birth or, and plan this whole stupid visit. I had clothes on that were donated, too tight fitting, and I thought I lost those. So, yeah. So if you want to do your community a favor, if you have a mental health hospital near you, I highly suggest you sweatpants, sweatshirt, t-shirts, flip-flops, nothing that has because they'll take ties out, nothing specific length. Heck, I wish you could have your cell phone when you're in these places. But no, nothing outside, nothing to. Even making bags where, because some of these people don't know where they're sleeping, and even if you did like care packages, work it out with, the owner or CEO of the company, to where you routinely give like shampoo, backpack, or something for these people that, have nothing, go back on the streets or whatever, and homeless shelter. But more than less, sweatpants, t-shirt, sweatshirt, hoodie, whatever. Because it does get cold. Socks, underwear. Don't worry about bras. If you do, don't get anything with an underwire. Mostly sports bras. If that would be my suggestion. And then like these take-home bags or something, because I know what else. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I'll do that tomorrow. Find that. On the other note, oh my goodness, I've been talking for an hour and a half. I'm gonna go put you guys on a brief hold. I'm gonna go empty the tank and grab my coffee, and I'll be right back. Okay? Since you guys are going in and out. On my boring self who repeats about her story 10 million times, but again, this is my story, and this is my only way to move forward. I heard something interesting back to the girl that she went to, we'll do that story later. That one, I want her as a guest to tell the story. But anyways, what was I saying? I don't know. That's a good sign that I need a break. You guys need a break. So I will be right back. Hang tight. And if my buddy Spawn Trooper, I need to record you in your little doodads, if that works for you. Little sayings or whatever. Alrighty.
Woke up slow like a sleepy sloth. My body's heavy, but I shake it off. Riding these waves, yeah, they knock me down, but I'm still here, won't let it drown me. They said it's all in my head, but I know my truth instead. Gaslit, mistreated, neglected, yet another quack playing power games. Fuck them, yet I rise with every time. Surfing life with F&D. Might fall, but I get back on my feet. Consistency and resilience. chats with Sarah keep me sane. Finding joy beyond the pain. Been through fire, yeah, I know the cost, but I ain't broken, just transformed, not lost. Seasoned, but I'm still aware, don't touch me, just leave me there, please. I know my body, let me be, please. Just ride the wave, then I'll break free. That sleepy slow's got coffee now. Zippy energy, look at me now. Through the fog, through the fight, still standing tall, still shining bright. I'm surfing life with F&D. Might fall, but I get back on my feet. Consistency and resilience, stronger now. I feel the difference, yeah. I fight through the pain, like sunshine after the rain. Yeah. Like sunshine after the rain. Coffee chats with Sarah keep me sane. Finding joy beyond the pain. Been through fire, yeah, I know the cost, but I ain't broken, just transformed, not lost. Yeah, I fight through the pain. I'm seasoned, but I'm still aware. Don't touch me, just leave me there, please. I know my body, let me be, please. Just ride the wave, then I'll break free. Then I'll break free. That sleepy slow's got coffee now. Zippy energy, look at me now. Through the fog, through the fight, still standing tall, still shining bright.
Hey guys, welcome back. Oh my goodness. Alrighty, I'm gonna get. How do I get 3 of the? I don't know. All these gadgets and gizmos and plenty. Oh Lord, nobody needs to listen to me sing. Anyways, if you have contractures with your F&D, I highly suggest you getting this. If you start getting paralyzed again for your F&D, arm sling prevents you from further injury. So that is a suggestion, and AFO definitely helps as well. Now, wearing an AFO, that's not meant for long term. Now, if you deal with, other issues like prosthesis and stuff like that, because you've had an amputation, then that would be but this can actually cause issues with your knees, because it pushes your knees back. And well, if you recall, I fell on the sidewalk that had a good bevel. I hit my knees on that bevel part really, really hard. And I was gonna go to ortho to just check and make sure nothing got torn or anything like that during that fall. I was like, it was a mixture of, I wanted to meet this ortho as somebody that I would refer to, you know, if I had a complicated case that I just couldn't take out of, you know, out of my scope. That way I could refer to this ortho. And the crazy thing about me is I've taken some really, really complicated cases. Like I've detected when there's like bone spurs and stuff. And I know that there's going to be some PTs, massage therapists, blah, blah, blah. I specialize in, you know, the hip. I specialize, my favorite cases are hip and shoulder, like rotator cuff injuries. So I've been doing this for 20 years. So, and when you are precise in your field, you are going to detect, you know, when it's time to send you to PT, ortho, and I've had 2 cases where I needed to give my, you know, professional opinion court cases. Yeah. I helped the one person win that case. Now that was I'm gonna try to email this person and see if I can open that a little bit. That might be interesting to chat about. Yeah, that was one of many fun cases that I've had. Yeah, I'll see if I can figure out where she's at and see if I can talk about that case again. That was a malpractice. Maybe I shouldn't have opened up my mouth about, you know, me being a massage therapist during this whole thing. But again, it was like, I need to save my hands. These things. I need to save these things. You know? I need to save my strength. I need to, you know, I need more PT. You know, I feel like people with F&D need PT at least once up to 3 times a week. You know, it's like exercise, you know. Brain, yeah, you're gonna improve, and you should have at least 52 therapy sessions, up to times that by 3. A lot of F&D or warriors, you know, we need the supervision. Now I can't afford to go to a personal trainer. outside of insurance. That's why I was like trying to get PT to, work with me, So, anywho. And I know I'm probably boring you guys going over and over and over this and that and the other, this could have, should have. But some of you are new, so when you drop in here, I try to, go back to history, talking about this and that and how I had F&D. Sorry, I'm rustling. These are the funnest cookies because it looks like Bischoff. Like I'm cursing in the morning. Coffee and Bischoff cookies. That is that with hot cocoa. I know. You're weird, Sarah. You're weird. That's the other thing. As you can see, I've had this issue probably since COVID. This started also after taking cyclopropanol. And it could be I'm allergic to coffee, and I'm gonna say hell fucking no. I don't care. I'm gonna drink coffee for the rest of my life. Could be hot chocolate, could be dairy, could be these. I think these have, I don't know. There's supposed to be no artificial flavors, no added colors, preservatives, and this is vegan. So, it works. Anyways, rid of this thing. Hide on stream. There we go. That's better. So this, and to the nurse that told me to put lotion on, massage therapists hate lotion, because we deal with it, 24/7, and we feel grimy. This is not a lotion dry issue. This happens in the shower. This happens when I do lotion. I can scratch myself. I'll scratch myself and to kind of demo what I deal with. And if it happens, I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, and then I'm breaking out because with food stamps, I'm eating less and eating eggs. I love eggs. Scrambled eggs. I have this little doodad that you can make burritos or grilled cheese or whatever. Well, I'm starting to break out. Allergic to eggs. And it could, be the egg, cheese, flour, corn flour. Who knows? They don't know. It's all in your head, apparently. But yeah, like right now, I scratched myself to just kind of demo, and it's starting to have this antihistamine. I consider it mast cell activation. Because, yeah. So I'll scratch myself. It's itchy. Like, I'll scratch myself here, and as you can see, it's starting to form in this little itch and I had no itchy spot here, but I can activate it, and then I'll get these for probably about a half hour, or it's like burning sensation for about a half hour. Now I scratch myself here, but now, like, under my rib, I have another spot. So that's the other issue with me. So very, very itchy, and especially if you want to do me a favor and you want to, like, send me Cash App money, I can go get the expert. If you watch this, you're gonna be like, what the? They were talking about lupus or something last night. Granted, I don't really remember last night. So yeah. So anyways. Then I can get, a little back scratcher. Yeah. But then I'll scratch it, or I'll scratch my back on the, like, the corner of the wall or whatever. And that will make me just, like, itch for like an hour or so. So I try not to scratch when I feel these little spots. So itchy. So itchy. Anyhow. I'm hungry. See, now you can really see it. And it's so random. It's not because it's cold. It's not dry air. It's not, I could take a bath and then just like have like an itch. It's not contagious. I promise that. And it happened literally after propanol. Yeah. So, I don't know. And the crazy thing is, nothing allergy wise was like major flag. He did have me do a blood test for something, and that turned out negative, for genetic. So who knows? But a lot of, I do know some people that have mast cell activation, and they even said, and they were a nurse too. And then there's, if you have Ehlers-Danlos, you can get this as well. Who knows? So I don't know. Y'all disappeared. Coffee. Coffee's the best. Coffee. At 1 o'clock. Hey, I started late today. I thought I was on a roll with my sleep reversing. I was like getting up at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. And now we're back to it's a never ending thing. So I just say, I won't have to worry about that, when it all fixes itself one day. Oh. Anywho. Where is everybody? Everybody got bored with me. All my drama. Let's see who's live. Like Musy Lady Wise Oracle, she's live. She's a lot of fun to listen to. That's all I see right now. Let's see here. So, not to scare anybody with this whole mass emergency with food stamps. He needs to do something, because this should not happen. People should not go hungry. That's the other thing that I was gonna do. I was gonna share that. Hang on. Food stamps. Maybe I'll share that another time. My ultimate goal is to kind of share like medical corruption, disability stuff, how it affects me and, the world, or could be affecting you guys. I think I need to I think I've derailed so much too. So it's a learning thing too with doing YouTube. Anyways, if you like the psychic medium type stuff and you like listening to that type of stuff, Let me go here. Mute that.
Shared in-
Whoops.
But with the intent.
Yeah. Sorry. Let me get her little doodad address. Copy. Go check her out. Go give her some love. She's got only 2 people watching. There we go. Go share it. Share my love with her. I'll meet you over there, guys, since nobody's really watching me. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Things do get better. I promise, with F&D or whatever you're dealing with health-wise. I hope this, gives you a little bit of normalcy and all that. I started looking for a job again. I'm not gonna totally go batshit crazy. I hope I get a job with the bus system, because I do have some really good ideas that might, make them operate a little bit better. But they cut the budget, $750,000, so my thought process on that is well, if they cut that, they're not going to want to pay me. And if they did, they would be here, you get, benefits of free rides, for a year or something, for, helping us, which I would be grateful for. I think they could make some changes and so hopefully that turns into something. And if not, as always, I have a backup looking at real jobs, because Medicare, in order to keep Medicare, you're going to have to, for 2026, you're going to have to volunteer or work 20 hours. Now, I would be I want to work 40 hours, if I didn't have all these chronic issues. I would be try to move forward, get out of this, mess, to where I don't have to be dependent on Social Security and in survival mode, because this actually puts you in survival mode, because you're not getting enough benefits to cover beyond rent and now food stamps. If I was, and I need I need a mobility device that is going to be a backup. Not only that, I know for the first few days, if I wasn't trying to get this job with the bus system, where they kind of know, what they're kind of dealing with, But if I was, let's say, I tried to get a job with a hotel. I kind of prepared them that I might need assistance with transportation. Whether, you help me with the bus, which would have been, the best option, because it was not expensive as Uber or Lyft. But if the job required me to go to it, like for the massage position that I wanted, I would have had to go, back and forth between, 2 locations. So I would need to take Uber or Lyft for that situation. Because flexibility. Because I could have gotten a patient, at this location, and then, we need you over here, so I wouldn't be able to take the bus because they require 48 hours. They don't have an app. So that wasn't going to work out. So, and then, but it's my dream job. My dream job is to work in a hospital setting. Yeah. Rehab setting, with other providers. So, but here's the thing, the hotel, can you climb up a ladder? And you might need to flip out a, light bulb. I forget what country it was. I think it's Denmark, if I'm not mistaken. It's illegal. I found that it was illegal to change a light bulb, and only engineers can. You had to schedule an engineer. That'd be a good question for Bergen Baker. So go back him, ask him, see if he knows. So anywho, and if I fill them in on all these ideas, I deserve to be paid for my secrets, So hopefully, and then, my secrets are, how to incorporate, flexibility. All in all, they need an app. They need to, this access certification, okay, so they need to like the major roads need to have the bigger buses. Now if the unpopular roads can have the smaller buses, but then incorporate access to they used to have this service kind of called the Flex Bus. So that was like started right before the pandemic. It was like you could use an app, I think, just like Uber or Lyft, but it was like kind of Section 8 lower, income road that would take you to at least the grocery. Pretty much that's all that it was. But the pandemic started, and well, I think it was just a lost thing. So if we mesh that service, bring that service back, and mesh it with like this access certified, disability service, because I ultimately feel like they're only carting 1 or 2, maybe 3 people on these buses. I have to climb the stairs or take the lift to get in these buses. But I like the vans better because you can roll in, roll out. You don't have to climb up steps. Easier on the old joints. So no vertigo when no need to do the lift. Now it would be great if these vans had an automatic, so all the driver needs to do is, plop it, just like the big buses plop the ramp, so they don't have to do anything physical. They can sit on their lazy butts and, focus on just driving to the next stop. Now, like, the converting the, smaller buses for fixed routes, like in areas where you might get 1 or 2, maybe 3, riders. I don't know. It's ideas. Now I gotta kind of work my brain, this thing to work on figuring out the science between the maintenance of these vehicles, or ask around, and then convert that into how much they would save if they did this option. Like, there's like 3 major roads that these buses the big buses could loop around 24/7, give or take. See, that still itches, and you can still see lines. It's been a good while. It's going down. I think it's like if I'm having an allergic reaction to whatever, versus me like trying to show you guys. Anyways, so if I do the math on this, and then it's probably gonna take, actually being at the facility to, okay, my ideas don't make any sense, their math compared to my math and my science and their science, and more and less as usual. Sometimes my math ain't mathin'. So, I don't know. It's a hard decision. And like my sleep and, am I ready? I gotta be ready for 2026 regardless. And yes, I know I'm being hard on myself, but at the same time, Social Security is not set up to be on long term. They have two sections, so SSI and then SSDI. And SSI is like you fall, you hurt yourself, concussion, but you get better well enough that you can go back to work, or or you retire, and I don't know, just. But then SSDI is set up so, but it ultimately is set up for you to be dependent on and burden your family. So, and even that is like, you get a trust, if you have a trust fund, and then it's too frustrating for me. It's time for me to, put my granny panties on and see if I can work, and but the hard part is, places are not gonna let you do oddball jobs too. Or volunteer your time, takes away from me, to pay bills and be independent. So it's hard. I think I'm more stressed being on Social Security than trying to work for myself, and so I don't know. That's just my take on it. But at the same time, I need, that little bit of security, Anywho, what are you guys all up to today? I think I'm gonna put you guys on another break. Man, 2 hours and 19 minutes and 14 seconds. Well, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I know I think it's a Hoosier thing. Saying goodbye, maybe a Southern thing. Who knows? Me saying goodbye 10 million times. And it could be because I need to get out of the house, socialize some way, some form. I will say I apologize to anybody that I hey, can you please possibly pay for your painting, or I don't mean to be rude or anything. If you accepted it as, thought it was a gift, you know, that's on me. So if you can pay, there is a QR code this direction. I am trying to sell merch, cups, coffee cups with my paintings on them. Trying that. I will have exclusive merch, which I do need to get with some of you that run businesses and kind of collab contract, where I get 20%, you get the rest. So that helps me, that helps you, whatever we cough up, with contract, understanding, because I want to help you, you help me. It's getting too warm in here. Like, I want to, continually, you help me, I help you, so, so I kind of want to do that, but I got to start with, trying to sell my own cups first, and then if you are interested in, a paintings start at $199 to start out with, $199 depending on if you want 3D elements, and then you pay monthly payments, but the total price now, I keep going back and forth between $489 and then I go $549 range. So if you want 3D elements, $549, is reasonable. And why do I do that is because the psychology, science, when people look at numbers, I ultimately need to be selling my paintings at $1,709, because that's where I feel like I don't have to work as hard, and can free myself out of, go live somewhere where I want to live without stupid government in my business. I say that because I had to watch 3 videos on my rights, how to clean and keep my house clean, and inspections and stuff. And then what else did I have to do? There was another video, their I just lost the word for it. Anyways, their meeting that they grant you your housing certificate. Yay! So I'm gonna do that for a while. And then kind of go from there. But now I'm like a little irked because now I have a question that I have to stay here locally because the videos and something about, you had to kind of stay in the vicinity of this housing. I honestly thought you could take this voucher anywhere in the state, anywhere in the country, if you fucking need a change of, scenery, you would think I need a change of scenery, to be honest. I don't want to deal with this snow. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I want to move south. Down south where the butthole, I need to look up what Mo always says, quote Mo, where she was talking about, moving to Arizona or something. Satan's butthole. Something like that. I know Timothy, if you were watching, I know I've made you laugh on that one. So feel free to comment down below that, your favorite person made you laugh today. I guarantee you are going to be like, oh my gosh, girl, you are too funny. At least I think I am. Oh. Anyways. But then I have to deal with muggy weather. Ugh. But my joints hurt. They're starting to hurt more. But yet again, my joints hurt all the time. And humidity doesn't help either. So it's like, I don't know. But I don't want to move, where, my family can't reach me, just in case I do end up flaring and going through. That's the scary part, is I don't want to have a crisis like this ever again. End up in the hospital. I don't want to deal with that. But my therapist encouraged me to move forward and was always shocked. Why are you still in fucking Indiana? Attitude literally on his face, like you really need a new start, and I'm gonna take that to heart, when your therapist gives you that look like you need new start, new everything, and go for it, and encourages you to do that, I will give you that credit for that advice. So, and I look at it this way too, psychologically, new start, and this F&D could ultimately go away. I have a feeling it would just go away. But I need to find my support, find start a new job. I need to get a job. I need to get a job. Have that security. So, and then support, and so, but at the same time, what's going on YouTube is not pretty. And so, anywho, 2.5 hours. It's a long time. I thought, Miss Squid was going live. Maybe I thought she's going on in about 15 minutes. There we go. Hopefully some of you followed over at Musey if you like that type of stuff. She's really good at, she gave me some really helpful, breathing, energy work type stuff. So, grounding is what I'm really trying to say. So, let's not try to, let's go here. So go check out. Squid is going to do the Maya case stuff hell of a lot better than me. I'm the kind of person that just like emphasizes your stuff, so there's Miss Squid's stuff. So I will see you guys over there, see what Squid has to say about the Maya case, her opinions. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will definitely see and give you love in the chats. Give me some love. Hit that like button. Share, subscribe, all the things. Accordingly to YouTube, that doesn't matter much anymore. YouTube is YouTube. If you have not seen me for a while, most likely YouTube has unsubscribed you, so hit that subscribe button and then toggle it to all so you don't miss on my channel. Mainly because I do like yesterday I was like, I need more sleep. Then 11 o'clock came along and I was like, I still need more sleep, or I just could not function. And so I just kept bumping it, I was like, well, since yesterday 9 o'clock didn't work, I bumped this to today at 11 instead of 9 or 8 or whatever, so I could sleep. So anyways, love you guys. And if my family member is watching, love you guys. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so you know what to do. Send me a text, send me an email, bug me, whatever, because that's what family do. So anywho, and if you are local, and you want to go out to eat somewhere, that would be great, because I might be bugging you guys too. Oh, and then if you want to help me food stamp wise, which are getting shut off on Saturday, feel free to send me cash out. It's all here. I'll wait. For those that are boomers, let me go back here. Boomers on YouTube. Doop. I'll go show you where to go. Okay. For those boomers out there that don't understand YouTube, but enjoy watching me talk about, my drama. Let me do that, share. Alright. So you'll see my name, then my handle, and we've got 137 subscribers and 80 videos. Good grief. I talk a lot. So if you go down there where it says hello y'alls, I did fix all my links so they're easier to remember. And then you can either buy me a coffee, which I'll give you a receipt if you want. If it goes to something else, if I do end up using it on coffee, then you will not get a receipt. Now, if you notice, it says Powerball money. This is my Cash App. So it will send you to this doodad. Let me double check. It will send you to the QR code. And you take a picture. You don't necessarily take a picture. It will show it as a link at the bottom, and you click that and then follow through. So if you don't understand it and you're a boomer, just use the coffee, buy me a coffee, and then if you need proof of what I used it for, just let me know. Or if you mention in there that use it on, food stamps, and I'll give you, how much I spent or whatever you want. Use it on Diet Coke. I will do that because apparently, that's how things work on YouTube. So, definitely check out some of those links. Hopefully that helped you, guide you. Look at this, guys. 5,771 views. We need to get this. We need to get up to 500 subscribers. Because then I don't have to explain all this, where to go here, go here. Because that's frustrating and annoying, and because then you can just do all those things that we do on YouTube. Anyways, so hopefully that helps. Alrighty, guys, 5 minutes. Go check out Squid over here in the chat. I put her link down for that episode, and tell her, give her some love. I sent you guys over there. Check it out, and definitely comment down below if you were lurking, or just, you know, catching me on the replay. My long, almost 3-hour blog, but I don't know what else to do with, you know, but other than just chit-chatting for hours. So alrighty, guys, I'm gonna go take a nap and watch Squid talk about my case. Later, guys. I don't think this coffee's working. Yeah, it's not working. I need an IV. Alrighty. Bye, guys. Love you. See you later.
Well, that's a wrap. The coffee's done, but our fight's just begun. We power strong like warriors do, living life with F&D and you. Sip happens, but we'll survive. We serious chats, we'll always thrive. Stay fit, stay bold, keep pushing through. The next show's coming just for you.
Remember, warriors, coffee fuels the soul, but your strength powers the fight.